I just want to start the show um, by congratulating Jorge Fernandez on making it to the games. You know, recent Sentinel athlete's been working his butt off for the past year, and what I said to Nate had nothing to do with how much I like Jorge.
That on-field coaching you do is tremendous.
That's pretty crazy. Bryson, what did you say earlier?
What?
That every time you looked over me,
Oh yeah, every time me and Taylor were the cameraman on the floor, every time I looked over, he was cheering for whoever he was filming.
hey, listen, yeah, I couldn't help it.
Okay.
And I'm not being facetious either. I obviously made a huge mistake and I'm fucking a dumbass. And there's nothing good about that. I'm not a cameraman.
I cheered for Mason at Syndicate, but
Yeah.
that was the first time I yelled. For
I'm not a
somebody.
cameraman or an athlete, and I just fucking. I guess now I am a cameraman. I have to learn how to be one, but
Hey, let's tell the whole because it's such a good story. It has so many twists and turns. So basically, Jorge going into that final event was 5 places ahead. The prodigy Nate Ackerman. He's not. I shouldn't say he's a prodigy.
He wasn't
he's
5
worked,
places
he's worked
ahead.
really hard.
He needed to be within 5 places of Nate on the last
Right.
workout.
Thank you for the clarification. Yeah. So 5 people. Oh, you forgot your drink over there.
I didn't want to put it over here.
It's fine. I'm not.
and for
chill.
anyone who's wondering, I have nothing to do with Sentinel training. It's all Bryson's.
Yeah, this is
So
your
if you have any hard feelings about Taylor, don't worry about it. You can still sign up for Sentinel training. Go to the Instagram. You get a 14-day free trial. Best coaching.
And Bryson will do a much better job than Eric Rosa.
We might even sabotage your competitors.
Sentinel training, the only place where you get on-field coaching during the heat. So they were 1 place apart. Jorge was in second, Nate was in third, going into the final event, and they needed 5 people to get in between Nate and Jorge so that Nate could win, or 6 people.
Nate needed to beat Jorge and have 5 people in between them, and also Bill basically had first place locked up, and 4th place was out of it. So it was only Nate or Jorge going in the games in that second spot.
Okay, and you'll see the footage soon on Dense Updates. But in the heat before, well, so let me go back a little bit. But when the workout was announced, it was supposed to be 335 on the bar. By the way, no one think that this is a justification of anything that happened.
We're just relaying.
We're just telling you the whole story, just so because it's so fun, it's so tantalizing. There's so much. It's so good.
Yes, yes. I'm eating steak with guacamole.
So the original weight, and this is how we know it, and maybe Blair and Ben have a different version, but the original weight for the bar was supposed to be 335.
Correct.
And all the weight wouldn't fit on the bar.
Correct.
Yeah, they did the short sleeve shorty bars, and they had to take the small 5-pound plate off to get. That was all they could fit on there, so they changed it to 325.
So 325 up until. That's what it was supposed to be?
No, 335 was original. Then they changed it to 325.
Right.
They
And
changed
then
that
going
on,
in this
Thursday,
morning. Okay.
Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
That changed.
Yep.
So when that workout started this afternoon, the official weight was 325. And then when they were briefing the judges, there was a whiteboard in the back. And the weight said that it was supposed to be 325. But the way they had drawn up the diagram with the colored weights, which colored weights to put on there, if you followed it just by the diagram, if you couldn't read numbers and you just like colors, it would be 315, right?
Yeah, so they put up a diagram basically of a barbell and then what weights you need to put on the barbell to get the desired weight. And the numbers that they wrote next to them was what was prescribed for the workout. But the numbers that would actually be on the barbell, if you loaded it correctly according to the diagram, would have ended at 315 and not 325.
So they were trying to be extra thorough by doing a color schematic to help make sure everyone knows that the correct weight was on there. But because the color schematic didn't match the total weights, it screwed up people's perception depending on what you were looking at.
Right.
So the event starts and the first heat goes, and there's a gentleman out there.
Ilya.
You want to do his voice, Taylor?
Ilya, no weight. Ilya, no right weight. I do right weight. Ilya, and I strong.
He is very strong.
So Ilya is dominating, and he has with 4:15 left on the clock. He only has 1 lift left, and he's coming towards his bar. He has to do those 2 final box. He gets off the rope, the one legless rope climb. He jumps the 2 boxes. This is the heat before.
Well, this important part too is before he left to go do those box jump overs and legless, he loaded his bar with blue 5s because that's what the color scheme said.
Okay, so he does after his 3 legless rope climbs and his 2 lifts or 3 lifts.
He did
3 lifts. He's going to do his final legless rope climb, but before he departs for that, he sets his weights so that when he comes back from that final legless rope climb, it's the correct weight on the bar.
Yes.
So he jumps over the 2 boxes, and the tournament director, the event director, Blair Morrison, sees what he perceives that Ilya has the wrong weight on the bar.
Because technically he does, because it's 315.
Okay, because in English isn't his first language, so he probably used the color schematic.
Right. He did it correctly based off the color schematic, but he didn't do it correctly based off the way the workout was prescribed.
Mathematics.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Physics.
Yeah.
Gravity.
It was not 325.
LBs.
Yeah.
So Blair sees that, and Blair runs over there.
Do not pull that up. Donovan, I'll give you some fucking BWC.
I like it that it's a black dude. Okay. So Ilya had put what on the bar? 315?
Yep.
And Blair sees that he has the wrong weight on.
Yep.
And runs over there.
Yep.
And does what?
Blair starts ripping his blue plates off, and Ilya was on my side of the floor and he was in the lead. So I was the camera guy on him.
And you can see this, by the way, on the stream.
It's on the
Dens is
stream.
going to clip it, but you can go back and see
so
it.
Blair starts pulling the plates off as Ilya is walking up to his bar. Ilya sees Blair doing it on that side, so Ilya then changes it on the other side. And he's a strong motherfucker, so he cleaned it anyway and finished the workout.
And what was that weight?
That was 325.
Okay.
So Ilya is technically the only person who did it at the prescribed weight out of both heats.
Because everyone else went by color schematic?
Yes.
Wow.
And he still clapped everyone. He still cleaned it, crossed the finish line or whatever. And then he's so far ahead that no one has gotten to their final bar yet. Now he finishes and I'm looking for the next person in the lead and everyone starts loading 5s. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, holy shit, I just watched Blair run over and fix Ilya's bar. So I can see across the floor. I see Ben and Blair talking to each other. And I start waving with the camera and I'm pointing at the bars. And they just
they didn't know what you're talking about.
They knew what I was talking about. But I think what I would assume what they were talking about was Ben was like, hey, no, we told him to load 5s. You should have let Ilya do 5s, basically.
So at that point, they probably knew it was so many mistakes. Hey, just let it roll.
Yeah. So now it's, hey, we got to go with the color scheme. Everyone knows that they're loading 5s. That's all that's what they're doing.
Okay.
Ilya's strong. We got lucky that he didn't miss the final lift, even though they still slowed him down a little bit.
And are you still thinking at that point that the weight should be 325?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm sitting in the tent. I remember going back there. I'm like, guys, that was all at 315. That
The
whole
only
thing was
people that would have thought it would be at 315 is the people in the corral right before they go
And
out.
Ben and
just
Blair.
looking at the schematic.
and Ben and Blair and the judges. So I'm looking
Not
at
a
the weight.
single athlete raised their hand and is like, hey, the color schematic's wrong, because they just trusted the color
Correct.
schematic.
And part of that is because it's a shorty bar and it weighs different than a normal bar. So it's so easy when you go to your gym and you see a 45-pound bar with a blue and a green on it, you're like, oh, 185.
Hey, and the key here also, so on that whiteboard, they had the color schematic and they also had the weights written next to the color schematic. And Nikki Rogers, who was in the first heat of men, commented on Hiller's post and said, they told us in the warm-up area to put on the small blues, which is 315, but the board said 325. And the workout was supposed to be at 325. So I'm
Which is
looking.
why Blair went to go change Ilya's bar, because Blair knows, hey, the workout's at 325.
Right.
Blair's not thinking about the color scheme.
So
Right.
and I don't know anything about the color scheme. And I walked off the event and I didn't know what happened with Ilya, but I'm like, I remember saying it to either you or someone else. I was like, every single bar out there is at 315. None of those are at 325. And then afterward, I go back on the floor and Bryson's like, you see what happened with Blair and Ilya? And I was like, no, what happened? He was like, told me the whole story. And I was like, damn. And at
And
that point, I wasn't sure what was supposed to happen. I was like, is it supposed to be at 315 or 325? But I know that Blair went out and changed Ilya's weight. So keep going.
yeah, and also this isn't like so. Then after the event, I went over and I fist bumped Ilya. And I was like, dude, you did it too heavy, and he was like, nothing too heavy. And I was like,
did he
I
really
was-
say
yeah,
that?
yeah. I was like, you smoked it. You did great, but it was too much weight. And he was like, nothing too much weight. And I was like, dude, I know you're strong. I'm telling you,
That's insane.
that was not the same weight everyone else did. And then eventually, I was just like, you, good job. and then,
And he got a 4:30.
yeah.
He
And
obliterated
Did
the
that
workout.
something.
did that time stand?
Well, it maybe wouldn't have, but I think it did.
Okay. So then the next group of guys come out.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: Why
And
was it,
that's-
why were there weights out there that could make it too heavy?
I don't
They
know.
didn't take the women's
They didn't
weights
take
off
all,
the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
None
they
of that
didn't
stuff
need
should be. Hey,
that
none.
10 at all.
No,
The
the
what?
10 didn't need to be on the floor at all. The extra green didn't even need to be on the floor at all. There was
But
another
the 10
smaller
did need to
plate.
be on the floor because it was supposed to be 325.
Yes, but after they changed it, there were not only there were multiple extra plates on the floor. It wasn't just so okay.
okay, yeah,
so
yeah.
if the whites needed to be on the floor, then the blues didn't, and there were also
Right.
an extra set of greens. There was a whole bunch of extra
Okay.
shit out there.
So what you're saying is if they were going to remove those, there were a lot of extra weights out there, but if they were going to remove those, they would have had it done it in between heat 1 and heat 2.
They
Because up until then, it was the right weight.
they would have right. Yeah, but also I was saying I didn't do the math of all the plates on the floor. I didn't know like what plates the women use or not, but someone asked that question earlier and I forget who it was, but someone was like they just didn't take them off after the women finished. I think maybe well, I won't say who it is cuz I don't know if they want to be named, but someone was like, "Hey, they just didn't take them off after the women." So that's just what I didn't do the math on it or anything.
Okay.
But then they would have to take them off after heat 2 of women, before heat 1 of men, to take all the plates off of the floor, which is, I'm assuming, why some of them were extra on the floor. But yeah, also some of them apparently now were just not even needed at all for either.
Okay.
Right?
So when Nate approached his bar to load it, how much was on it?
What
was the previous weight before?
It was at 305.
305.
Yep.
And so he tried. What did he try? Tell me what happened then.
So Nate's walking back to the barbell, and I had been cheering him on the whole workout.
Are you supposed to do that?
Hey, dude, I don't know if I'm supposed to do that or not. Fuck
Okay,
you. You
all
know what
right,
I mean?
all
I
right,
didn't get any. Hey, I'm not blaming this on anyone. 100% my fault if I'm not supposed to do that. But I like Nate,
Okay.
and I like it when people are cheering for me. Maybe I don't even know if I hear it when people are cheering for me. To be honest, but I couldn't help it. I like Nate. I want him to go to the game, so I'm cheering for him. And he's running back towards the barbell. And he asks his judge, blue or white. And his judge goes blue. And I don't think he asked me. I think he just asked his
Souza
judge.
said he heard you.
I know what Souza said, and I know what the video looks like, but I don't think he asked me. I didn't hear him ask me. I heard him ask his judge, blue or white, blue or white. The judge goes blue, and his coach goes blue. And I go, hey, I think it's white. Because I saw the whole thing.
The video is you like this.
Did you make eye contact with him when you said that?
Yeah, I said I think it's white, and I pointed at the white plate, 100%.
And then he ignored his judge and put the white on. Hey,
Hey,
wait a
dude.
second. Wait, but the white plate weighed more than the blue. So what did it matter? Because he had to take the blue off. He had already put one on.
So pull the video up. Can't you just pull the video up on
Yeah,
here?
so Nate was loading.
Hey, do you want me to send it to your computer? Want me to airdrop it? Because I have it from Hiller texted it to me. It's probably good quality.
I don't.
Nate had already
Let me see if I
loaded
can pull.
one.
I'll just pull it up from YouTube.
Go on Instagram. No, it's on Instagram. Go to Instagram. It's on Hiller's page.
You think that's better than the YouTube
Yes.
video that you got?
Yes. Yeah,
Or than-
Hiller's
or than you
videos.
got?
Hiller's videos from a mayhem cameraman that's standing right behind us.
Hiller's YouTube or
No,
Hiller's
no.
Instagram?
Instagram. It's right there.
Wow, Hiller's 107,000 followers.
Wow, he's ass pounding. Okay, here it is. Pause it.
I gotta share the screen.
Command plus is how you zoom into. In case you didn't know that.
I don't think I did know
On a
that.
mouse pad, you can just like spread the pussy.
Oh, look at Susan's coming over here like fuck you. He
Watch,
did.
just be careful.
No,
with that.
Command Plus doesn't work.
Oh, okay. Wait, is that on the stream?
Yeah.
What? Oh shit, you do tell him. Wow.
Yeah. Go back. Scroll.
It does
Rewind.
look like
Yeah.
he looked right at you.
Rewind. I watch it here. See, he has his judge right there. He looks. I don't know what he says.
Oh, he looked at. Oh shit, you crossed right in front of him over the bar. Are you out of your fucking mind? What the fuck, dude? Have you ever done video on the floor at an event before?
This is my second time.
Holy shit. Spencer Panchik just went in
Yeah.
which is an important part.
of the story.
Yes.
Oh my god, the chaos. The chaos.
So he had already put a 5 on, and then he's going to the other side to put another 5 on, and Taylor tells him no, it's a white. So then he takes off the 5, or he gets rid of the 5 he was about to put on, puts on the white, goes to the other side to start taking off that other 5 he had originally put on to put on a white. And then his judge is like, no, it's blues. So then he leaves that side alone, goes back to the other side with a white now, takes the white off, puts the blue on, then completes the lift. In that time, Spencer finished the workout. And if
So
Nate-
he ended up going with the judge's call.
yes. And what at that point was now the correct weight for the workout, because Ben and Blair had decided, hey, everyone's doing it at 315.
Hey, Mike B. Tell your girlfriend Jessica I say hello. Clive McLaughlin. I like to imagine this scenario happens at another event and Taylor is just on the show observing it. What does Taylor say about the cameraman in the field? I call him a fucking retarded idiot and a stupid fucktard.
The same thing he's been saying about himself the whole time.
Yeah,
they're driving
Clive.
home.
So you don't have to imagine.
no
you
one's
can
defending Taylor.
Hey, you can take your perfect representation, hard mold of your dad's cock that you fucking got when you're a little kid because you're fucking dumb. You can shove it deep up your ass.
Lube or no lube?
No lube, Clive. I want you to fucking make it bleed, you fucking Euro.
Very, very aggressive. No, the no lube is veiny.
Yeah, veiny as fuck. And that helmet on it's like got a huge lip, so it fucking hurts when you pop it in.
Oh, the big bell helmet. Yeah.
Hey, I fully acknowledge. I definitely shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have said anything. And I told Nate afterward, I was like, hey, dude, I shouldn't have said anything. And I went over to his mom and they were all arguing. They were trying to blame Ben and Blair for the weights being out there and there being confusion. And I walked over to his mom and I was like, hey, I know this does nothing for the situation. And it makes nothing better. And it's not going to give you any peace of mind. But I told him to put the white plate on.
You just admitted that but Nate didn't offer it up?
Yeah, I said that.
Oh shit, you're
Yeah.
a good dude. Wow.
And also-
Were you just like, oh fuck?
No, I was like, yeah, Taylor fucked up. But the
I
whole
know that not for a second.
Did
but
everyone just
no,
look at you like,
no,
what the fuck when that
someone was
happened?
over trying to tell Ben and Blair that the head judge told Nate to change
right,
the plate
yeah.
to white.
Yeah.
They were like, the head judge told Nate to change the plate. And I was like, no, I did.
And did everyone just like oh, that's Dom's
No,
wife. Was she
hey,
losing her
listen.
shit?
Yeah. And maybe it was her who said the head judge told Nate to change his plates, but it wasn't the head judge. And I was like, no,
Did everyone you stopped and said that? Was everyone just like, did it get quiet for like an eternity and everyone look at you like
I don't remember.
it didn't get quiet, but
They were like
there wa-
really
the
argumentative.
there were people who were then trying to blame Taylor and blame Ben and Blair for Taylor, and they were just like pretending Taylor wasn't there, not a. If you're Taylor, there was people this close to him, like, why is a media person on the floor talking to athletes? That's not a media person's place. All this
Hey,
stuff,
hey,
which
and that's-
100% is true.
Right. But it wasn't Ben and Blair's fault that I was talking to the athlete. It
oh
was
yeah,
my
he is
fault.
president of the CAC.
Yeah, I was just trying to fucking do what was
And
best
hey,
for the athletes out there. I was
also-
representing CrossFit. I was representing I was representing CrossFit and I wasn't out there working for the Sevon podcast stream. I was working for Coffee Pods and Watts.
Yes.
So if you want
Yes.
someone to blame,
Blame
that's who I was
Pedro.
representing, dude.
And hey, when we were over there too, someone was yelling about it, and they were like, "Oh, I fucking hate this event. This event's always like this, and no one says anything about it because you guys endorse it." And looks at me and Taylor, and she was like, "You guys endorse it and don't say anything about it." And I was like, "We talk about it every single show."
We talk about how fucked up it is, but it's still fun.
Yeah,
More
exactly.
fun if you
We
don't
ta-
have if you don't care about your performance necessarily.
Right. But everyone knows that, and everyone knows it because we fucking talk about it all the time. And yeah, we might talk about it in a positive light, like, hey, that's just how NorCal is. It's fucking funny, and you got to deal with it if you're going to go to NorCal. But we still talk about it all the time just because we
Hey,
don't shit on him for
Hey,
it.
and all you people fucking upset about Nate not going to the games, think about it from Jorge's perspective.
And that's another thing. Everyone, Nate should have just known the workout. He shouldn't have had to ask anyone. But also, what kind of sucks about it is I was following Jorge the whole time, and he didn't fucking know a thing about the workout. Before, like, 10-second countdown, he looks at his judge. It's like, is it rope climbs first? And he's like, yeah. And then after it cleans and you have to do box jump overs every time you go back.
I saw him go around the box.
He started going around the box, and his judge is like screaming at him, like, hey, come back. You gotta do the box jump overs. And he's like, what? Like, he didn't fucking know.
I also want to be so clear. Everyone is saying that Nate asked me which weight, but he didn't ask me, I don't think. And I mean that. I mean, what I saw happen, what I thought happened was he just looked up and was like, blue or white? Because everyone's fucking yelling at him. And I was right there. And I was like, white is 325.
Yeah.
And that I don't know if I said 325, but in my brain, I'm thinking, Blue on top's definitely not 325. And in my head, I was like, fuck.
Hey, let me ask you
Stop.
this.
In my head, I was like, fuck. If he puts a blue plate on, that's not going to be 325. And what if he gets out?
Jared Ellis, Taylor knows he shouldn't have said anything, but Nate says on the live stream that he asks Taylor, as an athlete, you don't ask a media person for loading advice.
Another crazy thing is
we knew this.
that it was a 5-point difference. And they ended up tying, and Jorge won the tiebreaker because he won the gator push, which there was 2 leaderboards and 2 winners for.
Say that again?
Jorge won the tiebreaker because he won the gator push event.
Oh.
And on that event, they had 2 winners because they had to do like left gator leaderboard, right gator leaderboard.
Hey, you know what's so fucked up is that they just posted the results and Bill Leahy qualified, but all we're talking about is how fucked over Nate Ackerman is, and this is all gonna go and Bill's fucking performance and him qualifying is gonna get swept under the rug unless Hitler sucks his dick and makes another video on it.
I just thought it might be something crazy.
Yeah. No, that wasn't crazy. That was just a thank you for the. Okay. Taylor helped Nate. He needed the extra 3 seconds to complete the clean. That was an ugly clean. But let me ask you this: let's just assume just
changing plates isn't rest.
Just an alternate reality. If the judge wouldn't have stopped him and let him put on the white, and let's say he made the clean
at white.
Let's say he would have made the clean at white, and the judge wouldn't have stopped him. Would he have
got in front of Spencer?
Yeah,
probably. I think I think if he hadn't have gone back and changed anything, and he had just put the blues on like he was supposed to, and I hadn't have said anything, he may have gotten in front of Spencer. It's impossible to say he definitely would have. It's impossible to say that, but he was well ahead of Spencer.
But I would put my life savings on it.
Even based off how the last clean looked?
Yeah.
I probably would.
Because I think changing plates is not a rest period at all. Like, it's
Yeah,
not like
I agree.
It's not like he needed that time.
I think
That's
he
an
would have
active
got. I
position.
think he would have got in the head of Spencer.
Yeah,
too.
and I know
I'm
you
just
think that
saying
too.
I don't know that it was guaranteed.
Izzy, you're conflating issues. Why did Taylor walk over his bar? Hey, he was filming and he lost his, like, when you're out there filming and you haven't had a lot of practice at it, you don't know exactly where you are at all time because you're staring at the screen of the camera. So obviously he didn't mean to walk over the bar. He was just out there trying to capture it, and then you get caught up in the event. So you're supposed to be watching your camera screen, but then you also get caught up in the event. It takes years of practice not to do that. And then, so he didn't. You're asking why he did that. It wasn't like he's like, okay, I'm gonna wait till Nate does his laugh lift and walk in front of it. He doesn't know why.
That's exactly why I did it.
He doesn't know why the fuck he did it.
And when you do get in a bad spot, then it's just like you gotta find out how to get out of it, no matter what.
Yeah. And I honestly was just looking at the whole thing, thinking, holy shit, he doesn't know what weights to put on the bar. I'm just looking at my camera, like, what the fuck is going on? And then I was like, wait. He needs to stand right here.
Yeah, and hey, like the area where they were briefing them was loud and none of the athletes were paying attention. But like, you don't take the floor and not know that kind of thing.
Hey, this is a good comment.
Wake a Texas Ranger, thank you. Brandon Gomez, all the Karens coming out of the woods. And here, I got to tell you also, you would have no fucking chance to see any of this or know any of this if it wasn't filmed by us. You wouldn't. It would just be another regular stupid ass sports podcast or podcast. So just make a note of that when any dipshit says anything. Kale Lehman wouldn't have said anything. What's the comment? What did you say was a good comment?
Oh, the one that said.
So then what happened? I saw Dom's wife over there, and she seemed like she was pissed off.
She's been pissed off the whole weekend.
Yeah,
She has been.
Yeah.
Hey, I fucking love that event. I
have the most fun at this competition.
yeah. If
She
you're
was
one
really
if you're
pissed
one
off
of
at the Gator push too, but like, don't come to NorCal. That kind of stuff makes you upset. I get why you like. I get the perspective of not liking that kind of thing, but don't come to NorCal because everyone knows that there's shit like that, and everyone knows about it because we fucking talked about it last year, and we talked about it leading up to this year. But I don't know, dude. If you can't handle that stuff or don't want to deal with it, I get why you wouldn't want to, but don't come to NorCal then.
the Vatos rioting in LA are more organized than NCC. All right.
Oh, look at Jonathan Ortega's Mexican words of wisdom. It's not Jorge's fault that Nate didn't get a ticket. None of it is awkward. They're competitors. That's how it goes. Live, laugh, love, baby.
So are these women's scores in real too? These women's scores been updated?
Hattie made it.
No. They haven't updated the women yet?
No, but Hattie made it. That's what Spin posted, is that Hattie's in. And Hattie should have made it. She won the tiebreak. Hey, this person has a good comment. Mitch Palooza. Taylor is a coach. Tough to separate that from that in that environment. I honestly didn't think about it until afterwards. And when I did that, I was like, damn, I probably shouldn't have said a word at any point in the weekend. But like Bryson was right. Basically, any athlete I was filming that wasn't Sydney Wells, I was cheering for. And the only reason I wasn't cheering for her is because she declined an interview, and I just wanted to act like I
didn't want to bug her.
Yeah, I wanted to act like I wasn't there.
I think we forgot to mention this part, but the reason that Spencer getting in was important is because now that Spencer got in ahead of Nate, instead of Nate beating him, Nate and Jorge tied on points.
Points tie.
The tiebreaker is the. Oh, Colton said that?
No, but keep going. I mean, it's okay to reiterate it. It's good.
The tiebreaker is event wins. The only event win between them both is Jorge winning his lane on the Gator push.
Yeah, and then Colton pointed out that event also had its own issues because during the event they had to split it up into two separate events. Did they both push the same side?
I don't know if they did, but it's possible that if everybody pushed the same Gator and there wasn't two winners, maybe Jorge doesn't win that event.
And that was the tiebreaker.
Hey, and you know the other thing, Clive, is no one else who would make that, or not no one else, that's not true, but most people who would make that mistake would go hide in a fucking hole and cry like a little bitch about it. And I can name a few fucking professional competitors who've done that very recently. You fucking. And
also on the other side of it,
how did you find that comment again?
The other side of it,
because his name triggers me. I want to fucking smack Clive with my tiny little dick. I want to give him a welt on his cheek.
Nate and Dom both aren't concerned with Taylor saying anything. They both were like, hey, Nate could have been 7 seconds faster in the run, and this wouldn't even be an issue.
Who said that?
Dom.
But also, and Nate wasn't pissed at me either. But at the same, I kept reiterating to Nate, hey.
Yeah, we all know that. But I'm just saying from their perspective, like they're taking personal accountability the same way that Taylor is.
I shouldn't have said anything. If I hadn't said anything, I think you would have cleaned the bar before Spencer, and he would have won.
I know. You're taking personal accountability. They are too. That's what I'm saying.
Nick Johnston, CEO of Proven. I'm just making that part up. Thanks for the media coverage the last 2 weekends. The only media team that wants to constantly elevate CrossFit. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely Nick Johnson.
Oh, we definitely want to have fun.
Hey, now I know how it feels as an event director to make a huge mistake, and massive stakes are on the line.
You and Dave can now commiserate. Don't spit on the computer. Do not spit on the computer.
I know exactly how Dave feels.
Been watching since 2010. Dude, turn the fucking lights on. This is the most exciting coverage I've seen since I can remember. Thank you guys. Keep up the good work. Yeah, thanks. It was so fun. It was crazy when we were back there too, because you had your camera on, but it was pointed the wrong direction. So I went out there and I turned it around in your hand and then ran back. Sousa flicked it on, and Bill's like, I don't know if we should be doing this. Like we were looking through a keyhole in someone's bedroom.
Yes,
and
Dom
then he
also does coach Jorge.
And then he flicked audio on. The fact that we got the audio and all that for that.
The Dom coach is Jorge too.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Dom. At least I sent one of them to the games. It was
Wow.
all me.
Hey,
I was the 9th event. Okay, that's what we haven't been telling all of you. I was the fucking special event. I was the finale, and it was. Are you fucking retarded enough to listen to Taylor or not?
it's the IQ test.
Man, I wanted Nate. I wanted Nate to go over Jorge. I don't know Jorge at all, but I know I wanted Nate to go.
Taylor is a media person. He's isn't a media person. He's a media personality. No one has ever looked at me and asked me if I knew the weights. No one's asked me if I've known the weights too, but athletes have asked me. I can think of a dozen times on the field where I've had interaction with them where they engage me in something. And I want to also tell you something. In the first couple of years of the CrossFit Games, everyone cheered on everyone. The media people were cheering. The judges used to cheer.
The judges were cheering at NorCal.
Hey,
that's the way it used to be. The judges
I had
cheered
a
it.
fucking judge tell another judge at Syndicate during athletes only
yes.
that the judge that judged me on that workout, that they couldn't wait to judge me because they wanted to no-rep me because I'm a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So for any of you, like all of you guys, I'm so fucking tired of hearing it say, it's a professional sport. The judges aren't fucking paid, you fucking extra chromosome numbnut.
Hey, even if they were, it doesn't
judges
matter. They're
here were
just
paid,
people.
though.
Even if they were paid, it
It
doesn't
doesn't matter if they
Yeah,
were paid.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
They
understand.
are fucking fangirling or hating like fucking shit.
They're just regular.
Everyone's
Everyone's regular people. It's
lot
just
of-
people.
Right.
A lot of times this weekend where you would see a pretty blatant no rep and you'd see the judge and the judge would go,
Yeah. Hey, listen. During the females' final heat, there was an athlete that potentially should have gotten a no rep, and the judge goes,
That was on the rope climb, right?
and didn't give it to her. Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm mad about it, but I was like, holy fuck, that was crazy. And all I'm saying is, I wasn't purposefully out there thinking I'm gonna sabotage this broadcast and this athlete's workout. I'm like, fuck, I hope they do
But
well.
there are judges out there who do purposely
Well,
try to
all I'm saying
sabotage
is,
things.
when I was cheering, I'm just doing it because I fucking like them and I know how hard they fucking work. And
And you know it's wrong.
and Hattie
now.
fucking Hattie, yeah, I know it's wrong, but like in the moment, you're emotional. You're like, fuck, this person, if they don't fuck it up, is about to punch their ticket.
Yeah,
I fucked it up.
and last year when
This is-
Suter hasn't jumped over his kettlebell a single time, and the judge is like, afterwards,
Oh,
his judge
yeah.
is like, "Oh, can I get your autograph and suck your dick?"
Yeah, it was like that. I got all that on film last year. It was crazy.
Hey,
This
Scott,
is a really good point.
What does that mean?
It's professional to the level of the money put into the community. Meaning, it's a professional sport. There's professional darts and professional axe throwing and professional arm wrestling, but it's professional to the level that you have money. So, like in arm wrestling, they just have a string, and if your hand touches the string, you lost, right?
What the fuck does that mean?
But if you had more money, you could have a laser, or you could, you know what I mean? Like look at how far the NFL's come with the money that they have to.
would you call Mr. Beast a professional sport?
He's a professional YouTuber.
Yeah, I'd say I don't know.
Like a contestant on Mr. Beast has the potential to earn exponentially more than the games will ever give out. But are they a professional athlete? They do athletic things. They do physical feats.
I think
Th-
he would,
this morning,
he
Susan
would
and
categorize
I-
that as a game show. Though.
This morning, Susan was reading the definition of professional out of the Oxford Dictionary. I don't remember what it said. I learned to be critical and cynical from the best, says Clive. Thanks for the coverage and entertainment.
Hey, and Clive, you're 100% right. I would be fucking raping someone who made the same mistake that I made, and I'm fucking getting it. I'm fucking beat up. My shit hurts right now. And I'm also sitting here saying I made a fucking mistake. I'm not trying to justify anything. I fucked up and I should have done it.
My wife, like, after I was driving home from the event, my wife's like, who won in the men? I'm like, shit.
I don't know yet.
I don't
I
even
don't know.
fucking
And
agree.
wait, one more thing. And then I'm like, she's like, who won in the women? I'm like, fuck.
That event was
I'm like,
just as crazy.
I don't even
We'd be talking about that for 30 minutes if it wasn't for what happened in the men's side.
What?
But the women's
side.
final event.
What happened there? I don't even remember.
Oh, just Hattie had to beat fucking Carolyn Brevo, and she just beat her on the tie break because she got.
But
to
there
the
was
final
no
ball first.
tie break.
There was a tie break.
But we didn't
There's
know. No one
nothing-
knew the
nothing
tie
written
break.
down.
No one knew the tie break.
There was no tie break written down.
It's not on competition corner even right now.
The
I
tie-
asked the judge after the workout was over. I was like, "Is there a tie break?" And she goes, "Yes."
I
And
asked
I was
the-
like, "What's the
the
tie
head-
break?"
The head judge too told me specifically. He was like, "Yes, it's when you complete your last box jump over."
We didn't know it in broadcast.
Holy fuck!
Athletes didn't know it.
Yeah, and the athletes didn't know it. Allie said she wasn't.
He was with Ben when I asked him, and Ben didn't know what it was, and Blair also didn't know what the tiebreak was. The head judge just told me that.
Listen, and all that being said, if you weren't here, you missed out. It's the greatest event outside of the CrossFit Games. It's the best event.
Yeah, and also I fucking 100% agree with Souza. The games is not a professional sport. It is a test to find the fittest on earth. Stop it. And that's not diminishing anything. Saying it's not a professional sport doesn't take away from it at all. It's so fucking cool, and it got so fucking huge because people like you in the fucking comments and me were so close and attached to it at the highest level, at the tippy point.
It's
of the
cooler to be a
spear.
test than a sport.
Right. It's cooler to fucking be like, holy shit, I do that in my affiliate every day. You don't go out on an NFL fucking field and play professional football every day.
And it's cooler to test the fittest man and fittest woman on earth. It's not cool to be world champion of the CrossFit sport.
Yeah, I'd rather be fittest on earth than fastest exercise racer.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the cool thing about it is fittest on earth. What? Yeah. Oh, I mean, hey, dude, I'm not mad at Olivia at all for fucking anything she did. I just want everyone to know that in that moment, I knew that I had fucked up, and I didn't want anyone to think that it was anyone else's fault. And I'm not saying that anyone else did or did not have personal responsibility in the matter. I just wanted to be super clear that I shouldn't have told Nate to put the white plate on, and that was on me.
I just took a shit.
That fast?
Yeah,
Did you even
yeah.
wipe
I did back
with
to
your
front
finger?
and then front to back.
Did you wipe with your finger, dude? What'd
It
you
was
wipe
a, it
with?
was a
then he
uni- it
washed
was a
his
u-
hands
it was a
after.
unicorn shit. I didn't wash my hands.
What's a unicorn shit?
Just like no.
A ghost wiper?
Yeah, just clear.
You wipe
Oh,
one time.
Miss D'Agostino. That sounds like one of those killer attack dogs from South America. Apologies for possibly overreacting. I go hard for people. Won't ever change that though. Proud of Jorge and Nate. Mr. William Plummer. Thank you. Nice to see you, Olivia. Nice to meet you in person. Mr. Will Plummer. The only people who should be upset are those on Sentinel. Taylor's going to be writing some serious ass pounding now.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewrite that.
No, he
workout.
retired.
I'm gonna write that.
Bryson.
Hey,
Bryson is the.
no, fuck you guys.
Interim president.
Yeah.
I'm interim
This
president.
is Taylor's Floyd. This is Taylor's Floyd 19 moment.
I'm gonna program that workout, and throughout the day, on that day, I'm gonna change the weights on the workout.
Yeah.
Urinal NRO. Taylor said it like Trump would. This is one of the greatest mistakes.
This is one of the greatest mistakes a competition could ever do. I can't even believe it. China would never even do it. You wouldn't believe it. We're giving our money to Israel.
And hey, the reason that I even asked about the tie break is because I told Ben and Blair this. I was like, hey, if you guys want to do something that's not subjective at all, because saying what the right weight is at this point is subjective, because you said like it depends on if you want to go with the colors or the numbers or whatever. The only thing that's not subjective is if you guys had a tie break, then Ilya gets a time because he did it at 325 the way it was originally written, and everyone else didn't get their last rep because they didn't do it heavy enough. And you just go off the tie break of when they finished, whatever it is.
And then Nate Ackerman takes second in the workout.
I don't know if he does.
He beat Spencer
Hey.
for sure to the tiebreaker.
Okay, yeah, maybe he would. I'm just saying I didn't see him, so I told them that. I was like, hey, I don't know what the outcome is if you do this, but if you do that, at least it's something everyone has numbers to it, and it's not just like, well, we told him it was this, but it was this way, so should we go this way or this way? Like, it's a little bit more number you can put on paper.
How about the mistake during the Open that one year when Dan Bailey did the Open live from some CrossFitter's garage and they miscounted the reps? He had to redo it. Or the year they had the wrong weights on Laura Horvat, and I don't remember who
That
else
was crazy.
she was going against, but they did it live.
Yeah.
And they had the wrong weights on the bar, and so their scores didn't count. How about the rope that Scott Panchik asked to be cut and they didn't cut it and he fell and fucking broke his ankle? So I mean these things, they happen. It's not football where it's the same field every single time and everything's identical and you can get it perfect. It's not like that. So these are the things that are going to happen. And like I can't. Ben and Blair, it was a cool event, man. I enjoyed it a lot. Maybe if you're one of the 50 athletes, it's the challenges and inconsistencies and maybe the lack of resources bother you. But as a spectator, man, for CrossFitters out there, for the fans, by the fans, fucking top notch. It was a blast. And the races were absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Adam Castillo, if you watch Hiller's video, Ilya loaded it with small blue plates. As he was walking up to hit it, Blair changes one side to white plate and Ilya changes the other. Correct? Yeah, we were talking about that in the beginning.
Just skip back to the beginning if you want to watch it.
Remember when Talking Lean Fitness and Brian Friend said they are the real media and we're podcasters? Those people couldn't get 1,000 live views to save their lives. Well, what's going to happen is now
They're going to use this as an example.
yeah. So, but let me tell you what's going to happen. So they said that we weren't real media, and we pounded them, and they've skedaddled from the. I don't know what the fuck they're doing now. And then now they're talking shit about the broadcast, and it's going to end up the same way for them.
Hey, who cares? This and you know what? I did say this to Bryson afterward. I pointed at Brian Friend. I was like, "Look, he's over there conspiring. He's already using this fuck up." So there are two things I'm most upset about, or two things I feel the worst about. One is I made a fuck up that did affect Nate. My mistake definitely had an effect on Nate, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying he had no choice in the matter.
When he went, yeah.
But my fuck up had an effect on him. And my fuck up might have an effect on you guys. Because now Brian and all those other fucktards can use this as
No.
Well, dude, if he says one fucking thing,
dude, all I care about is the way we covered it, and it was like we have no peer.
Hey, if
was
you
not-
want
it-
your event to be talked about for months longer than together,
We'll cover it.
Yeah,
Let us cover
we'll
it.
put Taylor on the floor.
That too. Oh, just as an unknown. Watch out! There's a camera operator out there. As a fan of the sport, we have to agree that NCC can do better. I don't think.
And they think they can too.
There has to be learning from this year to NCC 2026. Acknowledge, move forward. But listen, Rakesh Manan, let me tell you something, my friend.
Rakesh, call the fucking manager if you want them to do something better.
Rakesh, these guys are known for always trying new things, and there's always this is the way this event is.
And I was a new thing.
And here's another thing also. The event normally isn't at this time of the year. I think normally the event is in a cooler time of the year.
September.
Yeah, so they had to pivot to do it earlier because of the way the season was laid out this year. I don't know what it means like to do better. They're not going to do like, what do you mean? Like triple check the whiteboard that they put the weights up on? Okay, yeah, maybe they'll do that instead of double check it.
Yeah, and the nature of staying true to like regularly like learn and try new things and be ready for the unknown and unknowable means that you're going to try a bunch of new shit, and some of it is going to be completely fucked, and it's going to get fucked up, and you're going to have to scrap events halfway through the event, change how you're scoring it halfway through the event, get rid of it after the event, all that shit. You're going to have to do that.
And hey, it's a Blair and Ben's event, and they don't have to do shit. They can do whatever they want. It's their event. People cannot come to it. They don't owe anyone anything.
Yeah, they don't. But they also know that they can do better. Like I was talking to Blair at the end of it, and I was like, yeah, man, we all love like the fact that you guys are trying new things, and we know coming here that like there's gonna be some shit that's fucked up. And he was like, yeah, but this is different. And I was like, yeah, this isn't like a NorCal flavor thing. This is like actually a fuck up. And he was like, yeah, this is 100. Like we need to do better at this. Like he said, quote, we need to do better. Like they know that, and they're not just sitting here like, oh, well, you guys came to our event, so deal with it.
Here's the thing. What would have fixed that?
Took the extra plates off the floor.
So take the extra plates off the floor. Don't hire anyone to film it.
Make it clear that it's 325.
Hey, they just fucking followed me on Instagram.
You could take the weights off the floor. You could not have us film it. What? Oh, send Nate a link. Oh yeah,
shit.
Send Nate a link.
No, don't send him a fucking. Leave him alone.
I mean, what? And triple check the whiteboard next time. Okay. Brandon Gomez. I hope Mr. Friend gets mistaken as a Venezuelan and gets deported. All right.
Well, hey, like each individual athlete needs to take responsibility for not knowing exactly what the workout was or what the weights were. But from Ben and Blair's perspective, they should take personal responsibility. And I know that they are that, hey, way too many athletes didn't know the fucking weight. Like that's something on you as an event organizer that you need to be ready for and thinking about next year. And yeah, they probably should have been thinking about it before this year.
And all the athletes can do better.
Yes, 100%.
Great job, friends. The Spooners love y'all. Isn't it interesting that the two athletes also, Jorge didn't know the workout and Nate didn't have
And
the
the other
weights.
thing, to be honest, there are only two athletes there who were fit enough to overcome anything, no matter what went wrong, and it was Alex and Bill. They had enough of a points gap between everyone else where they could afford big mistakes. And I was talking to Alex Kazan after the event, and I'm like, in the sport, you need that kind of fitness to have reliable success. Because not even just in this
I would say just Alex.
sport, how many points was Bill above?
Right, but just because it did work one time doesn't mean that he is fit enough to never have to worry about that kind of thing.
I'm not saying
I
he
think
is.
Alex is.
I'm not saying he is, but I'm saying at this competition,
Right,
he did
okay,
enough.
okay.
And all I'm saying is, for lasting success in this sport or in CrossFit, whatever, in any sport really, but really in anything in life, you need to be so good that you can overcome mistakes that are in your control and outside of your control, because both are going to happen.
Will was impressive this weekend.
He did so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and good for
And he's a freak, like Hiller said. He's got like gorilla characteristics. He's a freak.
he does. He's got that little upper back hunch, and he kind of
And he moves light.
But the true thing is, what I've always said about Bill is, it really pisses me off that Hiller sucks his dick because he's never fucking done anything to earn it. And what it has always seemed to me is like he's got a silver spoon and he can't overcome adversity. And if there was one weekend where there's a fuck ton of adversity to overcome, it was this one. And he did it.
Yeah.
It was like every last thing you had to be, fuck it, I just have to do what I have to do. And he did it, and he fucking crushed it. So he proved what he needed to prove.
He trains by him. He doesn't have a coach.
No, but he's got a lot of guys around him that suck his dick.
Okay. Laura Spooner, great job, friends. The Spooners love y'all. Thank you. Christine Young, great.
And I also want to say this. I have never that might not be true. Recently, I have not disliked Bill. I like Bill. I think he's a cool guy. I've just thought, man, he needs to fucking learn how to just overcome shit.
Well,
And I don't know if he will learn that, because it seems like he has a lot of yes people around him. What he needs is somebody to tell him to shut the fuck up and just make it happen.
I have really liked Bill recently, like seeing him in person a couple times and talking to him. I really like him, and I'm not saying this because I don't like him, but it kind of sucks that the first time it works out for him is also the first time that he just didn't fuck up event one. Like, if his biggest issue is, hey, when he gets in a hole, he can't fucking mentally get out of it, or he can't deal with the consequences of shit like that and just fucking overcome it, like you're saying.
Hey, but he has overcome it, because he did that this season multiple times. And
You're saying the season was the thing
overcoming the Achilles injury is pretty big.
Hey, to fucking not make it multiple times in the season and to keep fucking going and trying and then make it.
Yeah.
I think that shows a lot of fucking character. It's
yeah,
good for him.
but every time he doesn't make it, it's because he fucking bombs event one, and then event one here is 30 ring muscle ups for time.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Maybe at the
I know that's what I'm saying. I get, hey, he's at the games and he earned his spot to the games and he did what he had to do in this situation. It wasn't up to him that the first workout was 30 ring muscle ups for time.
Right, but it also was up to him that after all of the fuck ups he's had this season at this point, he showed up here.
Right. I'm just saying, from an analyst perspective, it's not like you can't, like, I want to, but I can't get too high on him yet, because
you have to see him fuck up event one and overcome it. What if he never fucks up event one ever again?
Then I have to see him do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have to see him do better.
Whatever. Hey, it's enough for me, Bill. I think you're going to win the games this year.
Tell you what, if you guys weren't covering it, many would have turned out after. I don't know. Is that English? I don't know.
Hey, Hiller's fucking claim is still alive now.
About Leahy?
Yeah.
He told me today it's going to be 26.
Bill or Hiller?
Hiller.
Oh, fuck you, Hiller. Don't backtrack, you little fucker.
All right. Let's go back. Let's check the women's leaderboard and see if we have an update there.
It's fucking set in stone, bro.
Okay, Guzan, 46.5. Hattie Canyo, 64.5. Carolyn Prevost, 66. Wow, congratulations, Hattie. Wow. And Kristen Holta, 73.5. Oda Ludkenvam, Andrea Solberg. Solberg made quite the comeback. Trisha Smith in 7th. So we're going to see some of these names in the last chance qualifier.
Oh, fucking hilarious.
Gazan definitely was in a league of her own.
Yeah.
Didn't you think?
Yeah, she was She's the only female to finish that final event. Yeah,
Oh, is that wow?
I think she's the only person to hit the final bar. There's a
What about
ton
Lindsay? What
of,
about Lindsay Lane? Oh, she made it to the
Lindsay
bar.
didn't-
Oh,
she
Yeah.
didn't hit it.
There's a ton of people who got capped at the final bar. The wild thing is, if that cap is 1 minute longer, some of those girls probably hit that bar.
Allie smashes it.
I don't know
100%.
if Hattie hits it, and so maybe if that time
Oh,
cap's 1
wow.
minute longer, Carolyn might be going.
wait, explain
That's a
that to me.
crazy point,
Explain that
yeah.
to me.
If that time cap for the women is 8 minutes instead of 7, because Hattie Canio got to the bar way before Carolyn Prevo, and she missed 1 or 2 attempts. Prevo got there. She had like 10 seconds to finish putting her weights on. She picked the bar up, like spun around, picked up like 2 seconds left and missed it. But if she has like 20 seconds to compose herself, she might have hit that weight. And I don't know if Hattie would have hit it with another minute. And then that puts Caroline ahead of her in that event. And then Prevo probably goes to the games.
Wow. Ooh. I never even thought of that. So Hattie Canyu won because she won the tie break, but we never got to see who would have won the entire race. Does that
Yeah,
mean
there was no
does that
time
mean the
cap,
time cap was
Colton.
wrong? Should it have been a minute longer?
Really?
I think it should have been a minute longer. I don't think that by itself is what means it should be longer. Does that make sense? That's not
Okay.
the only
Yeah,
reason.
If the crux of your event is it's a heavy clean ladder and only one person does the final clean because of a cap, then it probably should have been a little longer.
Who's a better lifter, Hattie or Carolyn?
Jesus Christ,
usually
Ortega.
Carolyn.
Carolina, yeah.
Hey, Ortega, if you want to watch porn, just fucking use your laptop, buddy. You fucking weirdo. And also, this fucking person commented. They go, just comment.
Thanks for the shade today. We were lucky enough to have Fluffy Duck in the broadcast booth today with his daughter. That was cool. What a cool dude.
This person commented on fucking Hiller's post. He goes, "This is what happens when you have quote unquote personalities who are only there for their own benefit and not for the benefit of the event."
Who said that? Who said that?
Justin _ BURCH _
Let me see his profile. I want to see that dude's profile. Oh, Justin. Oh, yeah. He's a Kamala. Yeah, he's a Kamala lover. Justin, you are such a fucking idiot, dude. Hey, Taylor paid on his own dime to come out here and carried a fucking camera. And there was no plan for him to interview anyone or anything. You're a fucking idiot if you fucking think that. That really, you're a fucking scumbag.
I just told him, "Fuck you, pussy."
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Go get on fucking Kamala's cock, dude. Would Bill? You guys have to understand that. Think about that. Which athlete? Tell me which CrossFit Games athletes or what aspiring athletes or someone in Taylor's position who has his own show, the Kill Taylor show, and Shut Up and Scribble would come out there and hold a camera all weekend in the fucking dirt. Him and Bryson did that. Walk around in the dirt and hold a camera. Fucking asshole. And there's no glory in that. He doesn't get any attention for that. Except for the fact he shit the bed on the last event.
Yeah, I got a lot of attention.
Will Bill benefit with JR for 6 months?
JR's 2 hands off for Bill.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
Oh, that's interesting. He said everyone will benefit with JR.
I think JR's 2 hands off for Bill. I think Bill would probably need someone to just. Bill doesn't. To my perspective, I don't think what Bill needs is some crazy program for him. I don't think what Bill needs is necessarily some crazy training partner. On the outside looking in, Bill is incredibly physically gifted. He's clearly extremely fit, but he needs people around him, or he needs someone who
He needs Joey.
he needs.
He can't have Joey.
He can't have Joey. He needs fucking, he needs a Colton around him or someone with the toughness to say, "Hey, you're being a bitch right now," or "Hey, you can't control that. Shut up."
and I also think Bill is like a smart dude. Like,
Yeah.
I bet you that he writes awesome workouts for himself
Right.
that are fun and cool and develop really great fitness. Obviously,
He needs some influence around him and maybe he has that now. I don't know, because I think he did a great job this weekend also. But I think to me, Bill is an athlete who has a lot of the physical gifts, and I'm not saying he doesn't have the mental gifts, but he needs I think that's what he needs more development in. Someone who can say, "Hey,
He should go to Kotler.
yeah, but he's not a." And I don't think Bill's a pussy either. I just think he needs somebody to tell him he's being a pussy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what he means?
Hey,
Well, I don't. Fluffy Duck, and here's the bottle of water my daughter took when you weren't looking. Is Gazan better than Brookwell's?
yeah.
Yes.
Probably.
Hey, if Alex gets her fucking snatch right, she obliterates Brooke Wells in anything.
Yeah.
Nothing that Brooke could beat her in if she gets her snatch. The only thing Brooke is better than her right now is snatching.
Alex's rope climbs were something to witness. She just flows. She's
They're
actually
better than
like
most of the men.
she's actually like a spider. She's fluid the whole time. It's not even like you know how some people do the rope climb and it's like
Yeah.
reps, 1 rep, 2
Yeah.
reps.
Yeah.
Hers, she's just like
Yeah,
flow.
they're not as good as mine, but I would say she's better than most of the men. She might be better than me, Adam.
Yeah, she.
The rep scheme was the same for men and women.
I
So how
know.
many men did she beat?
Probably
A lot.
Good question.
A lot. Yeah.
She annihilated. Hey, yeah, and after the workout, she's like, "You gonna interview me, Taylor?" And I was like, "Sorry, I gotta interview the girl that's about to cry."
We wanted to interview her and Jorge and Will,
Yeah.
all those guys, but
The Nate
they-
Ackerman situation. I fucked it all up.
no, they went to drug testing.
Yeah, but I could have gone back there with him, I think, and I just fucked it all up for him. Sorry,
Oh.
guys.
All right. Thanks to Ben and Blair. Any other topics? Yeah, first thing tomorrow morning, Elon and Trump. Back to
fucking
what
LA's
matters.
LA, talk about LA. Hey, we should drive by. We should fucking go down there for the night and fucking get in on the riots.
That'd be fun. Hey, if the cops can't protect themselves,
We
how
should
the
dress
fuck are
up
they
as
supposed
cops.
to protect
We
us?
should dress up as cops and go into the riots with rubber bullet guns.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Or like paintball guns, and not dress up as cops, pretend to be
Or
protesters.
just guns.
Jesus Christ.
How about Simone Biles getting destroyed? Are you following that?
Fuck Simone.
Yeah, she's
No.
a fucking idiot.
Crazy story. Her shit's unraveling. All right, Colton, anything you want to add?
Sheesh.
Good job, Billy boy.
Taylor, you want to go to the comments and talk shit to people, or
No, I don't care. Fuck me up. Pound the ass.
no, they're good in here.
Pound me ass, mate. Pound me.
All right.
Good
Thank you, everyone. Great weekend. I don't know if there'll be a call-in show tomorrow. I don't know what Susan and I are just sitting here like licking our wounds, trying to figure out what we're doing. We're still in Sacramento. Thanks, guys, for the good time. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks for the support.
Good job, Bill. I'm gonna fuck you up at the games.